Rowan, and this is In the Zone. Now I'm gonna start this episode off. We're talking about a little episode called Walking Distance, and I forgot to mention in the last episode that there was another Twilight Zone signature glass break. The maid drops a tray and there's some glass breaking.
Yeah, okay.
So, if you want, you can watch this episode on Netflix, Hulu, IMDb. So this episode is called Walking Distance. And so it starts with this annoying businessman driving to a gas station and he's like honking on the horn.
Yeah, and the gas, it's like, I'm like, this is what gas stations looked like back then. They looked really different.
They look pretty similar, I feel like.
No, the gas machines were like small and there were like 2 buttons on them.
And the music is so good in this episode. It's like, it really makes this episode so much better.
And it's so happy until like the end.
Yeah, the episode or the music?
The episode.
Yeah. And so then,
and the music, both.
Yeah, he sees a sign for Homewood that's 1.5 miles, and he's like, "Oh, I grew up there in Homewood. It was my home, if you will." And then he says, "That's walking distance, isn't it?" But that's the name of the episode, and it really gets on my nerves when people say the name of the episode in the episode, which is why you should watch In the Zone. What? Haha. All right.
Oh, and I took down when he said he's age 36, in charge of the media. And yeah.
Yeah, so he's an advertising executive, which is like what a lot of jobs or a lot of people in the Twilight Zone are. So then he goes, there's like a cool shot where he enters a diner place and then it's like in the mirror. It's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah.
But then he goes to get a chocolate soda and he's like, I always used to go to this store. I always sat up here. I remember when I got chocolate sodas and it was only a dime. And so he gets a chocolate soda and it's a dime and he's like, that's weird. You'll go out of business. And he's like, you're familiar. and he talks about how Old Man Wilson, the owner, died a couple of years ago. And for some reason the guy behind the counter doesn't say anything. He's just kind of like, yep. So then he leaves after
and
the delicious chocolate soda. And he's still there.
Yeah.
Mr. Wilson? Yeah, and he's there. So that means something's up.
Oh, and a lot of people in the ice cream shop are really old, so that kind of got me the hint that something was up.
What? So like back in the day they hired old people.
Oh.
I guess.
Yeah.
So then there's more good music.
Yeah, I figured it out right away.
And Martin Sloan is walking down the street.
Oh, and the music kind of sounds like All Stars at Night. Oh.
A little, yeah. And so he sees an ugly little boy playing marbles and talks about his memories and all the houses and all the marbles. And the town looks the same. They have the same name.
And the boy's like, I know Martin. And
you're not him. And he's like, oh really? Why don't you check out my driver's license? Which is kind of, he's great with children. And so the boy runs away. So then he's up there by the merry-go-round. He's like, there's a merry-go-round. I remember when I carved my name in that bandstand. What?
Yeah.
And he sees himself as a little boy carving his name in the place. And he's like, are you Martin Sloan? And the boy's like, no, honest, everyone does this. And he's scared of him for
he thinks he's gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, but it's very cool. It's not like, wait a minute, you're me from the future. It's like he's scared for a reasonable reason, you know?
And he doesn't realize that it's him from the future.
Yeah. So then he runs away. So then Martin goes to his house and he sees his parents and you're like, Mom, Pop, you're both here.
And they're like, are you a lunatic? They're like,
he must be a lunatic. They say it really loudly. It's kind of mean. So then they leave and he's like, no, you've got to believe me. And then he sees a kid with a brand new car, but it's from 1934. Yeah. So if he didn't already know that he traveled into the past, that's the real proof of the pudding. Pudding. So then it fades to black. So then there's some really good music. He's walking down the road, and we have a weird middle monologue that Rod Serling has that he very rarely has, and he's like, a man can think a lot of thoughts and walk a lot of pavement from afternoon to nighttime. He goes back to his parents' house, and he's saying all this stuff to his dad, and he's like, who are you? He's like, I'm Martin! And then his mom comes out and he's like, what? And then he tells her all these stuff that only he would know. And the mom kind of starts to believe him. And like when he pulls out his identification, he slaps it away. Which I thought was really cool. Kind of like she thinks that he is from the future, but he like doesn't want to believe him because it's too weird. So he just kind of like denies it. And then he's like, whoa, my mother just slapped me.
When he knocks on the door, before like it's
The
like on
first
the
time?
other side, it looks kind of like ghostly.
Yeah, that's really cool because they're like both dead, presumably, and they're through the screen door, which was a really cool effect. Kind of.
I wonder why the town was like that in the first place. Why it was in the past.
Like what?
The town, like he just went to another town and boom, he's in the past.
Yeah, there's not really a time travel mechanism. Whatever. So then
It's the Twilight Zone.
So then when he gets slapped out, he's kind of shocked, and then he hears music and he's like, "That's the merry-go-round." And he's like, I'm going to talk to Martin. So he goes and he runs on the carousel. And he chases Martin. He's like, Martin! And they're running on the carousel. And Martin falls off and his leg gets run over by the carousel. He's like, oh, my leg! And then old Martin's like, ah! Like he gets hurt.
He's like, oh, my leg!
I thought it was a really cool moment when he got hurt also. Oh, when I first saw this, I thought it would take like a dark turn and he would like accidentally drown him and die. But that didn't happen, thankfully. And so then his dad walks up to him. And the dad knows he's from the future because of his identification. And then they talk for a while. You really are from the future. Maybe there are carousels and things where you come from. I know why you came back. Look ahead. Don't look behind you. So then
motivational speeches.
So then Martin goes to the chocolate soda place. But it's 1959 again. And I thought this was really cool, like looking at it today, because that's like old-fashioned for us, you know?
Have I seen you before?
But then there's a lot of rock and roll and undershirts. Haha. So then he gets a chocolate soda, but it's 35 cents.
Yeah.
And Mr. Wilson is dead. And also he has a limp. And the guy's like, hey, get that in the war? He's like, no, I got it from falling off of a carousel. Oh yeah, and then he says that they tore down the merry-go-round a long time ago. What did you think of this episode?
Have I seen you before? Things like, wait, yeah.
Did you like it?
Yes, I give it a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10. I really like this episode. It's like one of my favorite episodes. I think the acting's really good, and the music just adds so much to it. The music is incredible, and the dialogue is so good. I love the scene where he goes to the house the second time, and he's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I had to come back." It just flows so well.
So, what's your rating out of 10?
My rating is, I didn't think it would be this early, but it's a 10!
Yeah! The highest yet!
Wow, so that's the highest, like, average score of the episode we've had so far, walking distance. You should watch that episode. It is a great episode.
Okay.
Next week we'll have a less great episode known as Escape Clause. Be sure to check it out then.